Let's talk about, is your partner or your boyfriend too friendly with other women? And you may have a partner that's quite charismatic, very friendly, people person, or it could be frequent interactions that make you feel uncomfortable, maybe jealous, less than, insecure, and all of this. And you're like, is this too much or am I too much? Is he being too friendly, or am I being too critical and hard on what friendliness is allowed? And I can for sure say for myself, I was always attracted to going individuals, people that really like to connect with others. So I would be very attracted to this quality. And then, yet at the same time, I would constantly encounter relationships with men or dating experiences with men who took that friendliness to another level. Now, in another level, it doesn't mean that the friendliness goes anywhere, but there is a level of friendliness that is too friendly that is actually disrespectful to your relationship and the safety that you feel with him. So let's go through 10 things, that signs that your partner is crossing the line with his interactions with others that is actually leaning towards disrespect and is actually a little too friendly. The first one is the tone and the language used. If he is being quite, say, flirtatious or animated or slightly sensual or sexual in his tone, immediately that's going to put you off. Or not put you off, it's going to put you like in a place where you feel insecure or like what is going on here or upset with him. And if you're noticing that his energy behind what is going on in the conversations is shifted, and this is not just general platonic energy that he would use towards his family, an old person, a young person, if the energy is changing and the way that he is using his language or the tonality has shifted, then I for sure say that this is a sign that it is too much. If it's coming from a healthy place, you'll notice that he remains quite neutral. He can be so friendly and kind, and yet it's not flirtatious. The next one is openness about the interaction. If there's a part of you that feels that he is holding the interaction a little bit to himself, then why is he holding it to himself? This is going to make you feel unsafe. It's going to make you feel not included. It's going to make you feel like what they have is not for you to experience. And that is, it leaves you out. Simply that, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel safe. It makes you feel not included. It makes you feel like whatever they have is something that you're not included in. Number three is the frequency of the interaction. Firstly, does he make you a full priority in the relationship? Always? Or is the frequency of this interaction and the priority of this relationship also high in a way that is compromising you in the relationship with him? Because if he's compromising you and not putting you above in every circumstance, then you're not going to feel like a priority. And I for sure would be so uncomfortable with this. Number four is body language. And I think this one could just be the biggest one. If we're talking about energy and the way that someone is using their body, you will be able to tell everything. Again, back to this neutral state. If they are neutral, they can be so kind, so loving to these people. And yet, because it is neutral in nature, there is a clear boundary here. If it becomes excessive in closeness, or if he is constantly leaning in or touching or all of these things, this is crossing a line. And again, what I want you to look into is energy, because you could be feeling all of this. And if you approach him and he says, "Oh, come on, you're overreacting. It was nothing. Like, what did I do wrong? I was just being a kind person. I was just being friendly." He is denying the action in what he is doing, and he is gaslighting you and making you feel like the wrong one in this. In reality, his energy is shifting. It's not neutral. It's not the way that he would treat a child in terms of the way that he is leaning into this. It's not neutral. And so you're picking up on something and you have a right to feel uncomfortable by it. So if you are experiencing this, I would definitely say call it out. And the next one on this is the way that they react. If they are reacting in a way that is defensive in nature, that is getting louder, that is getting triggered by you bringing it up, then there's something there that you're bringing up that is truth. Because if there was absolutely no energy in the interactions with these women that was out of place and it was purely just kind and loving, then they would simply say, "Hey, honey, this is not my intention. I was purely just wanting to be present with this person, to chat with this person, to hear what they were saying, to be kind, to be loving, but absolutely not my intention to be any bit flirtatious or suggestive or too friendly." And he would say it in a way that is absolutely hearing you and wanting to hear exactly what it was that made you feel uncomfortable so that he could step back in that so he doesn't again impact you, but he wouldn't feel triggered. If there is him, if he is being triggered by this, then you're poking at something, right? You're poking at something that I say poke at. And not what I mean by poke at is you're not trying to trigger someone, but there is truth here that you're picking up on. And so you speak to the truth because you don't want a relationship that is disrespectful. You don't want to be in a relationship where you feel unsafe. And so if you're feeling something there, acknowledge it and see how he responds. In his response, you're getting a beautiful representation of the man that you're with. If he responds in a defensive way, then you're seeing a lack of responsibility. Even if he wasn't being flirtatious or suggestive, a man that is fully taking responsibility would still want to see, okay, well, then how can I best show up in a way that isn't making you uncomfortable? Because he would want to really care for your heart. And absolutely, there's your stuff and his stuff, but a man that really wants you to feel safe in the container of your relationship will want to make that a priority. The next one is the intention behind the interaction. If your partner is getting some sort of validation from these women, then this is you're going to pick up on that energy where he is seeking something from the connection. And so really tune into his underlying intention here. If he's just being a kind person with needing nothing back, you will feel that and you will be more than okay with dating a man or being in partnership with a man who is simply kind, loving, respectful to women or people out there, but not needing anything in return. The second last one is the secrecy behind the nature of the connections that he is having. If he is deleting things or hiding things or not being fully transparent in the interactions, let's say, for example, he had a coffee with someone for an hour and he told you, oh, it was just a quick coffee. You will end up picking up on, okay, why is there a downplay in the interactions that he is having? And so when there's a lack of transparency, you're going to notice this, and this isn't healthy and it isn't truthful and it isn't honest. And so you're not going to feel secure in that. Last one is compliments and comparison. If your man is giving compliments to other women in a way that is excessive in nature or leaky or diminishing your worth, it's going to feel compromising. Well, first of all, again, coming back to the number four, I think energy is everything. If you feel it was too much, then you're probably right in thinking, okay, that there was something there that I was picking up on. And it can be the subtlest of things. But if you're feeling a leakiness in the energy, then I really 100% recommend that you speak to her and say, honey, I felt something there and it didn't feel good. I saw something there and it didn't feel good. I felt that your energy was moving in towards this woman. And in the process of you doing that, I don't feel honored. I don't feel respected. I don't feel made number one. I don't feel like you're constantly having me by your side and acknowledging me as a priority over these women. Notice that also where he's comparing you, if he is saying, Mary, whatever it is, has these beautiful qualities, and in a way it's in comparison to something about you, then this is really disrespectful. There could be things that he values in a relationship and in a woman that he desires to experience in that partnership. That should not at all come at the cost of comparing you to another woman. Let's say, for example, he really values looking after your body, being healthy, and everything like that. Instead of comparing you to other people, he can have the conversation around, hey, it's really important to me that in our relationship, we're really prioritizing our health. And I know that we haven't been doing that lately. And I do seek to have that in our relationship where we are having that as a priority. Now, he can say all of these things without comparing you to other people. The comparison is unnecessary. So I hope this helps. If you are noticing his energy is going towards other women, in again a leaky way, you will feel uncomfortable. A man can absolutely be so loving, so present, so kind, and like a people person around others without at all being leaky or flirtatious in nature. There is a huge difference, even though two people can be people persons, there's a very big difference between the energy in which they interact with these people. When he's in a partnership and it's coming from a healthy place, although he's kind, loving, interactive, there's still a neutral way that he is operating in not opening himself because he is making sure that that is only for you. So I hope that helps. Bye for now.